Good morning, everyone. I'm Isabel Lema Blanco, and I'm presenting together with Ricardo García Mira and Jesús Miguel Muñoz Cantero the paper Exploring Consumers' Motivations to Engage in Local Food Social Innovations and a Study on the Galician Conscious and Responsible Consumption Movement. Green consumption has become central for research on climate action and green lifestyles. This study explored the social and psychological dimensions that interplay in people's patterns of consumption. It aims to contribute to the understanding of the different factors, of the different human motivations, needs, and desires underlying green consumption behavior. Considering the limited scientific evidence on the contribution of local and grassroots initiatives towards sustainable lifestyles, the research focus on the factors driving collective forms of food consumption in the context of grassroots social innovations and explores the motivations and aspirations for people to join the Galician food movement. The research adopts a case study approach on the Galician Conscious and Responsible Consumption Network, which is an informal network conformed by 25 local initiatives with different types of legal structures and models of organization. They share the mission of promoting sustainable and fair models of production, distribution, and consumption of organic food, groceries, food products, and groceries. A multi-method design was used, which combined three data collection techniques: in-depth interviews, document analysis, and participatory observation. In-depth interviews were conducted with 26 participants in 8 local food co-ops located in the Galician region. The research questions were, among others, why people buy organic green groceries, and especially what do motivate people to engage in food co-ops in Galicia. The results show that self-oriented motivations are particularly significant for green consumption. Findings in this study show that exist strong linkages between health concern, environmental awareness, and the desire of sustaining healthy diets. Organic products are perceived as safer, healthier, and better tasting and more nutritive than the conventional foods. Especially in Galicia, food crises appear to have influenced citizens' awareness on food safety. For example, the cow disease crisis strongly affected the region in 2001, had a direct impact on people awareness on food quality. Second, Galician food activists display high levels of environmental concern, which is linked to the ambition of changing unsustainable and unfair food system practices, aiming at improving the environment by supporting alternative food production initiatives in the local context. This motivation also connects in the reasoning to the ways of contributing to the preservation of the rural lifestyles, strengthening the still relevant primary sector activity in the rural areas of Galicia. Besides, feelings of connectedness with the rural territory also motivates action to protect these specific environments by supporting local economies. Such connection to the land is often motivated by their family roots, which persist even although they do not live in these rural places anymore. In terms of the motivations for people to join one of the food initiatives, most of the participants in this study report these three types of reasons. First, the desire of joining a consumption initiative is preceded by the identification of these organizations as the most suitable place for satisfying their needs of consumption. The organic and fair trade groceries are more accessible and affordable in these organizations than in other alternative spaces or even supermarkets nowadays. Interviews also explicit a desire for autonomy and control over their purchasing decisions, becoming more autonomous and independent from global corporations and supermarkets. Second, Galician food activists share social and political ambitions, and food co-ops are perceived as grassroots movements with the capacity to change the dominant food system by supporting local organic farms and short distribution channels. So consumption is interpreted as a political act and a new way of exercising political action by shifting the food system and co-producing more sustainable and democratic structures in economy. And finally, the third motivation relates with the desire to relate with like-minded others and to collaborate with organizations of people who share common values, goals, and concerns. Some of the interviewers point out that a common ambition to change the type of relationship between consumers and producers, fostering mutual respect, proximity, empathy, and acknowledging and dignifying the work of the food producers. In conclusion, the results confirm that awareness of the environmental, social, and economic consequences of consumption is a direct antecedent for conscious and responsible consumer behavior. One of the more interesting findings of this study is the triple motivation underlying participation in collective forms of consumption. So the decision to join a consumer initiative appeared to be the result of a reflective process on personal well-being, linked also to environmental and to political ambitions. However, environmental awareness and social political goals are not sufficient by their own, and people also need to experience the desire to put in practice green lifestyles. We have identified that specific life events appear to act as triggers for the activation of environmental identities, which was found as a key factor for some people to join a food co-op. For example, the emergence of new social movements, such as the 15th of May movement in Spain in 2012, or previously the anti-globalization movement in the 2000s, are critical events frequently mentioned by several interviews. Also, in a more individual sphere, becoming independent from family, gaining autonomy in the purchasing decision, for example, moving to a new place, or even having a baby, are life events that foster or enable people to experiment with organic and healthier food, which all of them are triggers that become relevant for people to engage in food co-ops as well. So thank you very much for your attention, and I'm happy to listen in your questions, your comments, and so on. Thank you very much.